Episode 12. So I skipped through a good part of the video since a lot of it's just walking around. Also, I'm on a bit of a time limit because my old man's coming in roughly half an hour, 45 minutes or so. So my commentary might get cut off early. But I needed to get the commentary done with this. Because I don't want to have to do it when I'm like half asleep. Yeah, I do believe I ended up selling that G36K or whatever it was. I don't think it was a C. Because I don't think it was the short one. I think the C stands for compact or something. I think C is the one that's the compact one. But yeah, we'll find another one. But yeah, in this episode, we get closer still to getting the house done. And then also, what else do we do in this? We finish up that lucky son or that old son, whatever one it's called. Here in the beginning, it's mostly just putting shit away. Yeah, my old man visiting really puts a damper on my ability to produce an episode, because I gotta just sit there and kind of entertain him for 4 to 5 hours at a time. And since he's coming over here earlier today, could be 6 hours. I just gotta sit there and watch him gamble on his phone and smoke cigarettes he can't afford and have to babysit his fucking dog that I told him not to get because he can't handle the responsibility of having an animal. Up to 11 excess doctor's bags, I noticed. That's good. Also, we're getting to the point where, like, money isn't a huge issue on the day-to-day. I find it funny how, like, weapon mods are ridiculously expensive compared to, like, quest payouts and, like, even just money you need for quests. Like, they consider 1,000 caps be a lot of money in the setting. But, like, fuck my stomach. But, like, you can easily pay that much modding out one gun. I kind of get that it's for balancing purposes, but when you're getting these guns either for free because you're killing people for them, or you're only spending like 600 or so caps for a basic gun, and then you gotta spend like the same amount, if not twice as much, to just give the gun a some slight edges where like, oh, 10 to 15% more DPS. Oh, yeah, that's worth paying twice as much on the gun. The durability ones are fairly worthwhile, because they normally increase the fucking health of the weapon by like 25 to 50%, I think. I think they might all be 50%, but the ones I remember are like 25%. Yeah, I decided to take out the duplet and use it. And that fucking 4 perk. I'd use it if it wouldn't make me evil. I'll probably get the one that lets me eat the random critters. Although I feel like even Morgan, as wild and drug addicted as she is, she wouldn't just eat fucking rat scorpions raw off the fucking ground. yeah, he's restocked with the good night vision weed.
What's up?
Cat eye is just ridiculously expensive for what it is. I need to get my barter up more. I think there's a perk or two that I want that requires barter. Pack rat? Is that what it is? Yeah, pack rat.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I need barter 70. So items with a weight of 2 or less weigh half as much for me. Which will decrease the weight of all ammo, pretty much. And a lot of the smaller items.
Okay, I know exactly what... Don't touch Mr. Killingsworth.
Yeah, like, those are pretty good for, like, the player character. But for NPCs, I don't want them to use more ammo. I might end up giving Niner a shotgun with, like, slugs, like a pump-action shotgun or something. I think I've been saving that Acerbu shotgun or whatever it was. Fucking reminds me of the Ithaca. But I'm probably gonna give that to him eventually because it's pump action, so he won't waste it so badly. Hopefully it's got more DPS than his fucking 9mm. I decided to waste some time since it's not quite ready to go and activate the solar panels. Speaking of clean energy, from what I've read, Scotland has a fair amount of green energy going on. And it's just like shitty seeing how like America's so like fucky about it.
They killed.
Also, I forgot to put the armor on before I did that. Oopsie whoopsie. I might edit the audio. Yeah, I probably will edit the audio while he's here. I can probably get away with doing that, because he can fuck off and deal with the vehicles that they need to fix. This is me looking around trying to find the fucking body. Yeah, it went a ways. His fucking husky dog is like 6 months.
Hey, Six, you ever been to Denver? Strange place. Everyone lives in
And
the
here's
sky.
another bunch
One
of
time,
piggy
really
banks.
drunk and one guy fell off.
But yeah, he doesn't understand how to raise dogs.
Then he got eaten by
Constantly
dogs.
tells the
I
dog,
like
oh,
dogs.
you can't have
They're
human
pretty fun
food.
places.
And then, like, every fucking time he gives him human food, or, like, the dog steals the human food. So the dog knows it doesn't have to, like, give a shit about anything.
Adapt.
Because he won't be punished for anything he does. And he'll be constantly rewarded, too. Pretty sure my old man believes that he needs to spend money in order to be a man. Because fucking... yeah, that's pretty bullshit.
Had enough?
How fucking, like, sad is it that fucking my old man who's trans fucking is one of the heaviest supporters of, like, the patriarchal relationship in families, where it's like fucking the guy has to do most of the work, put most of his money into things that are not even needed, like gifts and shit that, like, you don't even want or need, just because that it's their role to fulfill. It's like, I didn't need, like, fucking him to go into debt buying shit that he didn't need, like big screen TVs. I needed a good role model and, like, somebody I could actually talk to. I try to avoid getting into a fight with them, but you know, the stag always getting attention. Pretty sure it was the stag that got their attention. It's just especially frustrating seeing how, like, I know how the family could be, but I see what they choose to be, and it's just frustrating. It's to the point where, like, I'm beyond disappointment. Yeah, fucking stag, fucking whip shit around. She's pretty effective with that little gun. But yeah, I just expect failure now, to the point where, like, every day I regret waking up
Everyone
and
is stupid except us.
getting off the
Right,
fucking
Six?
couch.
Yes,
It's just
mistress?
that I know that my family's gonna do some dumb shit that I have to clean up. And they never want to actually, you know, be proactive about their failures. They'd rather just let me clean it up after the fact
Improve
than,
or
you know,
die.
get ahead of it and be like, oh yeah, we'll change the way that we behave. They sure as shit don't believe in being your best self. I'm thinking about just switching over to, like, a 44. A bit more power behind
You
it.
ever heard this Mr. New Vegas guy on the radio? He's okay, but I'd do a way better job than him. Hey, maybe that's what I should do when I get to
I
Vegas.
don't know if I have, like, a
Storm in there,
modded
take over the
shotgun
place.
revolver.
Open the new station.
I know they exist in real life. I just don't know if any of the mods I have adds one of them. I also don't know if they use like 20 gauge, because that's the the smallest gauge they have in this game. So I don't know what mod adds that. Probably the texture pack. If I had the time and energy, I'd just remove all of the texture packs besides the weapon one and the clothing ones, because I feel like the environment textures and all that. Also, I take a moment to just look around and experience. And if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have noticed these traveling traders. But yeah, sometimes it's nice to just soak in the environment. I mod my games to be immersive.
Hey there, need anything?
And making
Sure.
more about survival. And it feels like I've earned more of my time in the game by having to fight through things like that. In Skyrim, I have the Winter Sun mod. I'm pretty sure Winter Sun's the religion one. And it's nice to add that element of roleplay where you pray like every day and you do things to benefit your god. And yeah, I should see about getting some like animation stuff for New Vegas, where like the sit down and all that. Because it's nice just to soak in the roleplay for a bit. In the quieter moments. So Mola Man said that he needs to fill up his water jugs. And then he's gonna go over and have coffee with a friend. So that should add altogether like 25 minutes. Okay. And then like add an extra 5 minutes to get over here. The last 15-20 minutes of this episode might not have me talking in it, if so. I want to break free. Oh yeah, speaking of his shitty behavior, fucking pretty sure because of his like trans-related self-hatred, he's always had a thing against women.
Yeah.
That also doesn't help, the way that grandma treated her children, my old man and my uncle. But he's got this, my entire family has this habit of just ending up with shitty women. And then thinking that it's women in general that are the problem and not the fact that you only associate yourself with drug-addled pieces of shit. It's like you surround yourself with white trash cunts. You're only gonna see cunts. Some words of wisdom for you from your fucking reverend. It's just, there's so many levels of irony when it comes to my family. Because, like, my fucking old man, his way of rebelling against his parents was to, you know, turn to Satanism and drug abuse. Which, you can see is how that's affected my family. Instead of, you know, actually doing anything constructive with his life, he's just as bad as they are regarding, you know, understanding of political ideals. Where it's like, he still supports the same presidents that commit the same war crimes, and he doesn't have any deeper meaning to his words beyond things that he parrots from people that he listens to on the radio. So really, fucking, I don't see things as teenage rebellion when there's you're not trying to change anything. You're basically just trying to stage a coup if it's not a fucking proper rebellion. So having to grow up with a sexist trans man is the closest thing to a father I've had is, you know, a thing. When people talk about, like, nature or nurture, I don't think they ever really consider a personal choice in that.
We're supposed to be relieved any day.
Because I choose to be different. Like, I don't let their viewpoints sink in. Like, the other day, I was talking to another trans man I know online about how, like, I don't like period stuff. You know, that time of the month. And they were like, oh, it's probably because of your fucking old man. Also, here's the thing in New Vegas, right? The difference between you jumping and then dying and you jumping and being fine is like 10 feet, which, yeah, I get it. Realistic. But it's just like, there's very rarely where you'll jump and just take some damage. And coming from D&D, it's just like, I'm so used to just like, you know, take some damage, not your legs crumple in, you're fucking dead. And this is me trying to see if the meshes will allow putting stuff over Georgie. And apparently it won't work on anybody. Maybe it's modded characters that it doesn't work on, I don't know. Because I know buckets work. I've heard about the bucket techniques. But yeah, fucking the trans guy online thought that the reason why I didn't like period stuff was because my old man, like, demonifying or making bad talk of periods in general because of the, you know, trans self-hatred issues. Also, this fucker wouldn't get back up, so I decided, you know what, I'll scrap him and take his shit. It was partially roleplay. I was like, what if he knows? What if he knows about what I've done here? But yeah. It's not because, you know, my fucking old man said shit and then fucking made me think things. I typically resist the dumb shit that my family says and thinks. It's, I don't like blood because, yeah, I don't like period stuff because I just don't like blood. Like, fucking as a little kid, the person who gave birth to me had a pet rabbit who bit me when I was, like, little, and, like, fucking, I bled like a motherfucker. And so she fucking killed it in front of me, slowly. She would tell me this story multiple times. I blocked out most of my childhood. But the way she described it to me, she tried strangling it, that didn't work. She tried drowning it, that didn't work. Which just sounds like, you know, strangling with extra steps. And then she fucking, because that one worked, fucking, I don't know, the bunny was just made of something stronger than the average bunny. She fucking took it out to the backyard and took an axe and then fucking chopped its head off, fucking, you know, in front of me. So I think that's the big reason why I don't like blood. Also, my furniture showed up, so that's nice. And yeah, it's easier for me when it's just like, and this is something that ties into something a character says later on. a character is all like, oh yeah, I like bounty hunting and fighting and stuff because it gets the blood pumping. He likes fighting, but then he says, oh, I don't like killing. And that's such a stupid fucking thing where, like, the writer is, it was for the military. So it's just like, when you take that into, like, take it from that point of view, where, like,
what can I help you with?
You know, trained.
I saw that on the monitors here, and you sent it to everyone. Very admirable. Now that the NCR has more or less what they want, hopefully their curiosity about the plan is satisfied, and they'll dig no deeper. The followers will be grateful. Here, take these as a parting gift. I hope you'll find them useful. Not yet. By some miracle, they've hired an imbecile to try and decipher the systems here. He spent months working at one console trying to get the solar reflectors to track the sun. What he doesn't know is that the only thing the console controls is the plant's intercom system. I tried to tell him, but he insisted that the largest console had to be the most important. Still, it's only a matter of time. Keeping watch mostly. Trying to make sure the dangers of this plant are minimized. I was sent here when we saw that the NCR had taken it. We have no record of the facility, but its original builders were cause for concern. I'm to determine the threat level of this place and do everything in my power to prevent the revival of any dangerous pre-war technology. The NCR let me stay because they are desperate for answers about this place, but I've kept them in the dark. Goodbye.
Hey, man. Yo. Fuck, man. Everything. I push buttons, I turn dials, I read numbers. Sometimes I make up little stories in my head about what the numbers mean. Like one time I imagined they were a code to get into a vault full of naked women. Man, how cool would that be? No, man. I know exactly what I'm doing. I just don't know what effect it's going to have. Over there controls power in this building. That station has readouts on the computer network. That big knob there makes a crazy noise. Sparks come out of that slot if you put stuff in it. And I'm learning more every day. Worried? Do I look worried to you? I've got this under control, baby. No one else can do what I do here. It was easy, man. They were going door to door asking if anyone knew any scientists. I said look no further. They asked me if I knew anything about power plants. I said as much as anyone I had ever met. They asked me how well I understood theoretical physics. I said I had a theoretical degree in physics. They said welcome aboard. Because I get paid, that's why. Per kilowatt hour. Whatever the hell that is. That's where the NCR wants the power, so that's where I want it. But you know, you do that, maybe I put in a good word for you with them. Fantastic's little helper. There's a reputation you can hang your hat on. Adios, amigo.
So, like, he's a dipshit, but he's got fairly decent voice acting. Anyway, back to how, like, you know, fucking fighting in war isn't a game. Fucking... And that's one of the issues where, like, the military takes people and then trains them to be living weapons. And gets them to kill for them. And it's hard to get out of that mindset. My uncle's best friend served in the Gulf War, or Operation Desert Storm. I can't remember if that's the same thing or not. I just woke up a bit ago, and I needed to get this done before Moldman came here. Anyway, fucking... he ended up killing himself because of the PTSD. around 2012 or like 2011. And it was a bad way to go. He shot himself in his truck.
Be safe. Hello, friend. Some of the folks here in town put a little something together for you for what you did to help the town. Okay, here's what I have in stock.
And he rigged the truck to make it look like it was some kind of an accident, but the, you know, ballistics and all that or whatever. So even though he was a charred corpse by the end of it, they still identified that it was a suicide, and I do believe that suicides don't get to have flags at their funerals and have, you know, the proper military rights and all that. And yeah, I did end up selling the H&K G36K to that guy. But yeah, I've known for a long time about the effects of military service on people. Even as a little kid, cause like people, you know, the whole like, oh, you've got an old soul. It's fucking draining to be a child and to have to understand the, you know, first of all, the abuse as a child. I had to grow up pretty quickly to learn how to live with it and try to prevent it. And that's like, on top of the way that the person who gave birth to me raised me, and the behaviors that I had to develop to accommodate her needs and wants, I had to learn ways to try to avoid punishments and anything else that came with that. And it's hard to unlearn things that you had to learn as a child in order to survive. Also, this is a neat little thing, the graffiti. I just don't like the fact that it's a triggerable thing that you can move. Because you can misplace it, or if, like, an enemy comes in with an explosive thingy, that could get launched. I wish it was, like, stuck there. Like, I get you can probably move it somewhere. But yeah. Fucking... And the same mod author also talks shit about Boone via one of it's kind of just like a mocking military story where it's like because, you know, fucking people in the service tend to be frat bro types when it comes to, like, their bravado and all that. It's a funny story, but it's still like, that's just you being a fucking dipshit. But yeah, they also have a character that they admit is a self-insert character. Also, green plates. I begin my collection. Also, I don't know what was making the carrot unpick-upable. I think it was, like, being stuck on the refrigerator. But anyway, yeah. So I assume that if a character is a self-insert of the mod author, then the self-insert reflects the mod author's views on a character, like how they shit on Ulysses. So I assume that they themselves don't like the fact that Boone is still, like, broken up over killing his wife. I can't remember if he doesn't like the fact that Boone is still caught on the whole shot a bunch of children.
Do you want to play I Spy? You can go
Though
first.
I think he does, like, talk shit about that, so that is valid. Yeah, let's go on to Boone and his war crime. So, yeah, Boone's wife, I don't feel that getting stuck on having to mercy kill your wife is a bad thing. That's sad. But, like, killing children because you're ordered to shoot upon enemy combatants and you can infer that your commanding officer does understand the situation or is just giving you a bad order. That's on you to, like, not fucking shoot children. Like, that's one of the most basic things. Maybe it was Terry Pratchett or somebody, but they have a quote regarding, like, the 3 words that help like, within 3 words, how to explain how fucked up a situation is children are dying. If children are dying, the situation is, fucked, and should not be happening. And if you are directly making those children are dying, then yeah, you're probably fucking up pretty bad. So yeah, that's on the personal end of Boone for not shooting children. Because the whole, I was just following orders, that's the shit that the fucking Nazis said. Like, you can't use that as a defense. Oh, I was just following orders. Oh, I just shot a bunch of unarmed children, and the sick, and the elderly. It's a nice touch that they did, in fact, put... Also, I don't understand any of this shit. I don't know how to use any of this. I just put stuff manually. But, yeah. Fucking... It's a nice touch that the commanding officer was forced to be the one there at the refugee camp. Oh, also, I guess spoilers for Boone's backstory. But yeah, like I've said, if you're watching this, I assume you've played New Vegas. I'll try and remember to put a... Yeah, I'll write another note on my hand saying... Spoiler... Boone. And then maybe I'll mention a trigger warning of, like... death. And, like, suicide. Because, yeah, fucking shooting yourself in the head and then becoming a burnt fucking crisp for your fucking... Pretty sure his wife had to identify him. Because, you know, they're a little like, oh, come on, do that. Although I don't know if that's a thing they do all the time. But if they did make her do that, that was pretty fucked up.
Adapt or perish.
Yeah. Also, Georgie found some ammo. So I think he's still using the gun I gave him. I wish I could heal Georgie. I could revive him if he dies, like, ever. I think there's a cooking station way back there, but I don't want to fucking go back and do it. I think there's one up ahead, too, that I use. Yeah, I'm one of those people that write all over their arms because I'm so forgetful. So I just end up with a bunch of splotched ink after a while. And no, I didn't use the notes on my arms to cheat during high school. I didn't think that through. But also, I don't think I would have been able to hide it. No, I would have been able to hide it, since I always wore long sleeves, because I was, like, very I had no confidence whatsoever regarding my body. Nowadays, I'll wear, like, t-shirts in public, but, like, at school, I would wear, like, sweaters and long sleeve t-shirts. With, like, the button-up kinds, where it's, like, the mechanic shirts. I don't know what you call them. And there are guys using this one.
Accept this gift.
Yeah, the duplet is just too, like, not, it doesn't get through it. I would need to get the perk that makes it so that that's less bad. I need to just fucking give Niner a 10 mil SMG.
Come on.
This gift.
I'm constantly worried about... My decoration showed up. I'm constantly worried about, Andy dying. Because she's, like, so weak.
You going down, pal?
And of course I hit Niner. And since he said his everything hurt, I was worried that he was gonna die.
Yeah, come get some freaking news. Come on.
I'll probably get, the stag love and hate, the brass knuckles or whatever. And, mod them out to be more powerful. Georgie really grows on me when he's not stealing weapons off the ground that I want. Yeah, what a happy fucking episode. But it's shit we need to talk about. I've been asked a lot why, like, I do, like, suicide prevention stuff, and it's like... Because life is shit, and people need help. And nobody else is gonna fucking help them. That's why I don't get people who think that just, like, humanity is good, or, like, people are fundamentally good. If people were fundamentally good, children wouldn't be fucking being raped right now by priests. And virgins wouldn't be getting sold off to Central Africans as a cure-all for AIDS. And billionaires wouldn't be, you know, getting their fuck on as well. Trying to look for, like, if big horner meat is used for any ingredients beyond its the steak. Look at big horner meat.
Yeah, come get some freaking
Used it. I think only big horner steak.
Whew, I'm glad that's over.
Oh, that's dope. Big horner steak's actually pretty good. You give, basic, they give +2 hit points for 10 seconds, so that's 20 heal, and then +1 strength for 2 minutes. But once you get to, survival 50, it's 4 hit points for 10 seconds, that's 40 hit points healed. And then +2 strength for 2 minutes. Optimally, at level 100, you get +6 hit points for 10 seconds, so 60 health points, and +3 strength for 2 minutes. Which is really nice. And since it's less heavy than a beer, it's better for carrying shit.
Whoa!
And here we're going after our first bounty in New Vegas bounties. Quigley, I believe is his last name.
Right, 6. Am I right?
Oh, but yeah, I don't fucking... It's the thing I was mentioning before, it's a disconnect. The whole, like, oh, I like fighting and shit, but I don't like killing. Because it's just like, fighting typically will result in killing. Especially if you're in the military. That's kind of... Yeah, that's like a really shitty thing. That's the thing that fucking Michael at his therapist in GTA 5 talks about. And like, do you really want to be on the same mental wavelength as Michael from GTA 5? This is me trying to fucking sneak. He probably would have dealt a fair amount of damage if I'd let him, but, you know. Maybe I should have asked him to pose in the magazine. Oh yeah, I grabbed finesse. Because it gives you +5% to your crit chance, which is really nice. Slowing that repair up so I can get jury rigging. Because that's when the fun happens. I'm just gonna not get the thrown weapons shit, because it's just like, it's just not worth it. Even with the mod that lets you pick them back up. You can do consistently better and more damage with just guns. If you're gonna do things at range. I mean, I guess I could spec into it. But even then, it's like, ugh. It's bullshit. Also, I got this early. I don't know why I got this, pause and read if you want to, but I just turned, like, level 10. I don't know why it's all like, oh, do this thing for level 20s. Because I assume that because it came after I leveled up, that it's supposed to be for, like... Yeah. But I guess if you're low level and you want to do it early, that's for you. I decided to hold off on Gecko Steak because I'm pretty close to getting the survival needed to do the fucking Gecko Kebabs. Also, she'll need keep her filled up with ammo. This note, it's a reference to the Cthulhu mythos. Or Lovecraft mythos, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's so inaccurate for me. At close range, it might not be so bad. But yeah. I'm probably going to keep all the unique weapons from these mods, even if they don't use the texture packs. Shit. Just for, like, the sake of having, like, these trophies of my kills, I guess. Because for me, you know, in a video game, which is a game, so I can talk about this without feeling like too much of a fucking weirdo, is that it's the ending of a problem that I enjoy. But to an extent, I do like the fighting, but it's never, like, I don't like the fighting just for the sake of fighting. It's that I know that there's, like, problems to solve. There's, you know, there's raiders, or there's wild animals that want to kill people. It's shit that I can kill and help people out. Because unlike Undertale, you can't really talk your way out of these problems all the time.
Can I help you, friend? Yeah, I took a peek in there myself and thought the same thing. I'm glad you like them. Hey, that dealer's finally been able to find everything we talked about, and he sent me all the purchase orders, so we're ready to go. Just let me know what you want to buy, and we'll get it delivered. Hey, just one more thing. How would you like to have a little raised garden out back? You know, to grow stuff you can cook up on your new oven? What good is the oven without the ingredients you need for crafting, right? Anyway, think about it a little while, and we could talk more about it later if you want to. Well, I hope you don't have to use that thing too much, but I got a feeling you'll make good use of it from time to time. Drugs? Drugs are bad, okay? Hey, let me know if you come up with any good recipes, will you? Nothing like making your own ammo, is there? My favorite of the lot. Spent many hours at my trusty workbench. Treat her with care, my friend. Okay, whatever you need.
Yeah, fucking... Fuck, man.
Can I help you, friend?
Wish the ranger stuff had a little bit of the... Had some damage to the shoulder, or even just like damage resistance, or whatever it is, the R. I think it's resistance. Yeah, fucking... I think part of the like gung-ho-ness of the military, be it veteran or not, is that you need to excuse your behavior during war, no matter how shitty it was, killing civilians and all that. And typically that excuse is justified by the reasons that the government give, that, oh, you're defending freedom. But really, I don't see how, like, some dirt farmers in the fucking Middle East with AKs and shit are really gonna be fucking with our freedoms. Also, I picked up a sledgehammer because it's just like, I can heal up my hammer with that. Like, in New Vegas, you come into the issue of, like, yeah, the Caesar's Legion legitimately are a problem. Like, they want to override everything. So, even if they only take over New Vegas, like, following the Battle of Hoover Dam, they'll continue to try to push forward into the West. So they are legitimately, in and of themselves, a problem. Also, there's the issue of, like, some of the soldiers being conscripts, but then you get into the personal choice again of, like, what matters more? Your personal dignity and your personal morality, or your continued life under the boot of the government? Because people talk a big game about, oh, I'd fight in tooth and nail for my freedom, but then people who become conscripts or do things they don't want to do for their jobs, or even just like, here's a great example: Kojima fucking kept saying he didn't want to make Metal Gears, kept making Metal Gears because he kept getting paid to. So it's just like, he could have just not made another Metal Gear game after he said he didn't want to. He made the choice to continue making games. Like, you could always choose to just not do that. I don't think he was, like, under contract to make X number of Metal Gear games. I think it was, like, a situation where, like, every once in a while they're like, we want to make a Metal Gear game. And he was like, I don't want it. And then he ended up doing it. Fucking. And I guess he was getting suicide threats or whatever, but, like, fucking, he's a millionaire. He can fuck off with that shit. Suicide threats? Yeah, suicide threats. Like, telling him to go kill himself, or people telling him that they're gonna kill him. Which, still, you're a fucking millionaire. You can afford to just shut out the rest of the world. to keep your creative vision intact. I just don't have a lot of sympathy for millionaires in general, so just fuck.
Hey there.
Don't touch Mr. Killingsworth.
But yeah, choosing to be engaged in an operation where you're pretty sure you're going to be ending up killing people you don't want to kill or risking your own life. It's just like, what matters more, your personal freedom
Have you killed Quigley yet?
that you say that you believe in?
I'll take that finger. Here's your reward. There's plenty of bounties left, so come back when you're ready to put in more work. You ready for the next bounty, kid? Last week, a caravan was waylaid north of town, but it's still a mystery who was behind the attack. One of the guards survived with a leg injury, but by all accounts he's a drunken ass. His name is Chesty, and he spends his days at the bar in Boulder City. Find this guy and try to figure out what happened. Our client is offering 500 caps for the apprehension or termination of the attacker, provided we get definitive proof. Good luck.
But yeah, what's more, like, it becomes an issue of, like, what's more important? What do you believe in? Do you believe in your personal freedom? Or do you believe in survival at any cost? Because then, you're just a hypocrite at that point, where, like, oh, you're all about saying you're gonna fucking fight the government, but then, when it comes time to it, you would rather survive doing what the government wants you to do, which is doing shit in the military, than you would rather fucking die for your beliefs. Which I still don't get. I don't understand people who are like, oh, I'm anti-big government, but also, I really love the military. Because it's just like, who do you think tells the military to do the shit that they do? It's the government. And then you try and explain to people, hey, look at all these atrocities
I hope you're finding
committed, and they're just like, maybe they had a good reason to do it. Fucking fuck off. Because it's like, so like, you know, I grew up abusive household. And statistically, like, I should have turned out way worse. I should have become an abuser or something. I should become a drug addict. But I didn't. I chose to become more.
Hey there. Is everything all right? Okay.
Oh, it looks like I'm actually going to be able to finish out this episode. That's nice. Yeah.
Hey, Six, you ever been to Denver? Strange place. Everyone lives in the sky.
I just
One
wish
time,
people
we
would
get really
stop
drunk
fucking
and one guy
killing each
fell
other
off.
over dumb
Then he get eaten
fucking
by
shit.
dogs. I like
Also, that
dogs.
looks like
It's a
a
pretty fun place.
G3 or whatever? Or it could be a FAL. Also, we'll see him pretty soon. Might swap out Handy and the Stag for that little buddy and Boone. Of course, I loot her fresh corpse. Also, she's a magazine model, which means that we're gonna have a dead person in the magazine model. Might have that happen a couple of times. See you next episode.